While Lord Byron, his doctor, and the Shelleys were in Switzerland, they all decided to write something Gothic. Lord Byron wrote Manfred. Manfred is a poem, an autobiographical poem dedicated to this hero, Manfred, and his sister and lover, whom he abandoned, and she committed suicide for being abandoned. But a sense of guilt will torture Manfred all through his life. He constantly tries to find forgiveness. He tries to keep in touch with his dead sister, first addressing to some earthly spirits, such as the sea, the earth, the air, the ground. But these spirits tell him that they have no power on the past and on dead people. Then he talks to a witch. This witch tells him that she can help him finding his sister, but in exchange for his soul. Manfred denies, Manfred refuses to give his soul to the witch, and keeps trying to reach out to his sister. Then he talks to a monk. This monk tells him that he can find forgiveness by converting to the Catholic religion, which he also refuses. Then one of the earthly spirits appears to him in the shape of his sister. He recognizes her, but when he tries to embrace her, she disappears. But first she tells him, "You are gonna die tomorrow." He is very happy with this piece of news, because he finally gets to get rid of this sense of guilt which tortures him. On the following day, the monk appears again to him, offering him to convert to the Catholic religion and having his soul free and saved. Even the devils appear to him because they want to take his soul to hell, but he once again refuses to give them his soul. And in fact, his last and very powerful lines are, "It is not so difficult to die," meaning that Manfred is convinced that everything stops and ends with death. So he will be freed from his sense of guilt, and everything will be over, and he will be happy forever once he has died. Childe Harold's Pilgrimage is one of the first of the early works written by George Gordon Lord Byron. It is divided into 4 cantos. The first 3 cantos have as the main protagonist, the main character, Harold himself. Harold goes away from England because he is deeply dissatisfied with the life he is leading, and visits Portugal, Spain, Albania, Greece, France. Every time he visits a country, he talks to a famous historical or literary character, or he goes and visits their tombs. When Canto 4, the 4th canto, starts, Lord Byron admits that he himself is Harold, and describes autobiographically his trip through Italy. He visits Venice, Ferrara, Rome, Florence, and every time he visits a special town, he goes on the tomb of a particular author, such as Petrarch or Boccaccio or Tasso. Finally, poet belonging to the second generation of Romantic poets is John Keats. He died very young because of his poor health. He was born in England, but he tried to find some sort of refuge in Italy because of its better climate. One of his most famous works is the Ode on a Grecian Urn. It is an ode, so it is a longer poem made of some stanzas. In the first stanza, the poet addresses directly to the Grecian urn, which he admires and which he defines the foster child of silence. It means that the urn does not have a voice, but it certainly has a message. It certainly has a message. On the urn, the poet can see some scenes which are frozen in time, frozen for eternity. For example, he can see some trees, flowers, and bushes, which will be forever green, because time is frozen on the urn. In the second stanza, the poet mentions some sort of melodies, because on the urn there's a boy who is playing on a musical instrument, but we will never be able to listen to his music. Keats defines this kind of melody a happier melody, a sweeter melody. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. As you can't hear this melody, you can imagine it just the way you like. So it's a special melody for each of us, just because you can't hear it in reality. And this theme of imagination, art, superior to life and reality, can be found once again when he addresses in the third stanza to a boy who is trying to kiss a girl who is under a tree. He will never be able to kiss her, so his desire will be unfulfilled for eternity. Now, the question is, would it be better to be able to satisfy a desire, or is it better to live forever in a constant state of desire, of unfulfilled desire? According to Keats, once again, art is superior to life and reality. He says, bold, bold lover, never, never can you kiss. That is, you will never be able to kiss her, which is something that can make you feel miserable, sad. But on a second thought, it's not a bad thing, because she will never fade. She will always be as beautiful as she is today. So your desire will forever burn inside of you, and it will be some sort of constant impulse, a constant feeling of happiness, of desire towards somebody that is a new kind of love, a better, a happier kind of love, which can never be fulfilled, but which never fades. So once again, the theme of art, desire, imagination, superior to reality, life. In the last stanza, the poet asks the urn a question about what is important for man to know. The urn gives a weird, a mysterious answer. The urn says, or seems to say, seems to suggest, beauty is truth, truth, beauty. This is all you know on earth, and this is all you need to know. There is not a definite interpretation for the final message of the Ode on a Grecian Urn by John Keats, but what we are sure of is that Keats is celebrating the perfect beauty of classical art. That's why the urn comes from Greece. It is a Grecian urn, and what man needs is looking for his truth, finding the truth, and once man has found the truth, he will discover that truth fulfills his need for beauty. The truth is beautiful because it's a pleasure for man's reason, for man's eyes, ears, to feel it, to contemplate it. So the message of art as superior to life, art, beauty, as the most important goal for an artist and for a man in general is remarked in Keats's Ode on a Grecian Urn.